Channel 2 Action News investigates a septic situation after a Douglasville renter says she was left with no choice but to live in a home contaminated with raw sewage. She turned to Channel 2 Action News after having to rent and live in that house for a year.
We want to warn you, some of the images in this story are graphic. Channel 2 investigative reporter Ashley Lincoln joins us now in the studio where she uncovered what the property management knew before making repairs.
I mean, imagine having to live in this home, George and Karen. This renter says it was miserable having to stay at this property. We found management from this property knew about this sewage backup for months before repairs were made.
I was very, very pissed off.
It just about knocked me out.
It's an odor. Douglasville residents living on Bob White Lane say it's engulfing their neighborhood.
The smell was bad.
When you come out this door, it's gnats all over the back.
Latoya Stone says that smell was coming from the backyard of this home she was renting with her 3 kids and 1 roommate.
As soon as we flush the toilet, run the sinks, it back up.
Stone says she moved in March of last year, and after just 1 month, the septic tank began overflowing, leading to a backflow into the home.
Horrible. It was our own feces that we was living in, urine, the smell. It was just horrible.
Phyllis Price lives next door. She told me the mask she wears isn't because of COVID concerns, it's the odor.
I work in my yard a lot, so I enjoy being out here, but I couldn't do it after that.
I was suffering from migraines. We always being sick in this house.
After weeks of complaints, the management company did send a crew to make repairs in April. But after the fix, the problem returned.
They said we need a bigger tank for the amount of room that's in that house.
I found out the home is owned by Starwood Property Trust. The company hired Excalibur Homes to manage the property. But Excalibur blames Stone for the backup, telling Channel 2 a septic company found the lines were clogged because of wipes and grease. Excalibur says that falls into the category of abuse or neglect, placing the responsibility on the tenant to pay for repairs. But Price says this was an issue way before Stone ever moved in. The renters before Stone only stayed in the home for 6 months.
Did they leave for the same reasons?
It was backing up into the house.
Stone says after dealing with the sewage for several months, she filed a complaint with the Douglas County Health Department, and her neighbor Price filed one 2 months later. The health department confirms a sewage leak. However, it wasn't classified as an imminent health hazard. The CDC says prolonged exposure to sewage fumes can cause nausea, headaches, delirium, and skin and eye irritation. Excalibur acknowledged the failing septic tank in a February 2023 email. Channel 2 consumer advisor Clark Howard says it's critical for renters to document everything.
You've got to have video evidence of the problem, and you need a trail of paper showing where you contacted the landlord and attempted to resolve the problem. If it's just hearsay, you're gonna lose.
Stone says she eventually moved out a month before the repair was made.
I was just mad because you constantly sending me text messages about rent money. Why should I have to pay you when I'm living like this? I was furious.
And Stone and her roommate were taken to court by Starwood. Now the company that owns the house and both parties agreed to dismiss the monetary claims in that court situation. Karen and George.
So Ashley, what types of rights do tenants have in situations like this?
They do have a few rights. We do know that they can sue the company, or they can also, it's a risk, but the renter can decide to pay for the repairs up front and have that cost deducted from future rent payments. But the landlord could always fight that situation, which it is a risk for these renters to take.
And we talk about renters having to be there because some renters just can't pick up and go.
Absolutely.
Or front the money for something like
Absolutely.
this. Ashley, thanks for bringing attention to that.